This will be recorded. Somebody just requested for me to record this and it will be recorded. So yeah, that's kind of the future of apps, guys. It's like if your ChatGPT or your Claude or whatever doesn't have a connector to an app, then that app's not going to do well. Straight up, because it's so easy and so powerful to just use an AI that just goes into Notion and creates a page or reads a page and then goes into Slack and sends a message for you. Like you don't need to really use these apps anymore. At least use the UI of them. By UI, I mean like the interface of the app. Like you don't gotta click all these buttons anymore. So I'm gonna be doing this with my apps as well because just have to. I have to do it. I see a lot of note takers trying to come in, just to let you know that we are taking a recording of this. So, and you guys will get a copy of the recording. So, yeah. Dane, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing well, man. Good to see you. How's the week?
It's going good. Trying some of my own individual campaigns. I've got ChatGPT um, and Claude doing a couple of preparations and stuff and creating guides. So we'll see how that works.
You
Trying
moved on to
to.
Claude. That makes me so happy to hear, man.
I actually started using it after I saw you using it. I was like, wow, it's a lot more
Excellent.
intuitive than ChatGPT is. So
Yes, yes, exactly. Makes me so happy to hear, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've been I don't know, Claude should just pay me because I'm probably their biggest like
They
I don't
should
know,
give you a
proponent or
referral lead.
ambassador. I
Yeah.
know, right? They don't I don't think they have a referral program to be honest. And even if they did, I'm sure like everyone could just go sign up themselves in like 2 seconds. So
Well,
what's the
yeah, but
point,
come
right?
on. Here's I mean, if you give them a if you get a freebie, I mean, yeah, I got a freebie to use for like I don't know what it was, a day or whatever.
Slow dog. Man, Nate, what's
But
shaking?
Doug, I'm gonna mute you. You're really loud. Guys, let's keep this respectful. I purposely did the layout this way, meaning that we can all basically see each other. We can all come off mic whenever we want. I like to keep it that format as opposed to the other format. The other format that you can do in Zoom conferences is where there's host and then there's attendees. And like an attendee only has viewing privilege. They can't speak or whatever unless they get permission to do it. I don't like that. I just like we're all equals. I prefer that as opposed to there being a hierarchy. We don't need the hierarchy. So yeah, but I ask that you're all respectful and please keep yourself on mute. If you raise your hand, then I will stop and I will, call you out, and then you can kindly come off mute and basically say whatever you want to say. But I think that's the system that we'll work on. So, we got a bunch of us coming in, like over 200 people registered. How many of the 200 will actually show up? Let's aim for 50. That's the goal. That's kind of common with webinars. A lot of people show up. A lot of people register, but not everyone shows up, right? That's just super common. So yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes before we kick it off because, people are running late, people are all busy, blah blah blah. Yeah. Who else is on camera that I can pick on? Josh, how's it going, man? I like your setup.
What's going on?
What's going
Yeah,
on?
thanks.
Guessing
Yeah,
British?
I am British. I live in Bristol, in the UK.
Bristol, nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome,
man.
man. That's
See,
cool.
it's like nighttime here, dark.
Yes, I noticed it's dark in your room, so it's like
Yeah, man.
it's gotta be in the UK or in Europe somewhere.
Good
Hopefully
old
not
British
Asia, because
weather.
that'd be the oh yeah, been a little rainy.
Yeah, it sucks at the moment here, man. Where are you
I
based?
mean that's just normal. Well, I'm from Canada, but I'm currently south of Canada right now, so
Nice.
because I was just there and it's, I don't know, for anybody in the United States and Canada, there's been one hell of a deep freeze that's been penetrating, well, not penetrating, but there's basically a bunch of cold air came down, hovered all over Americas, even went down to Cuba, like in
Wow.
Mexico. Yeah, like it was getting down to like almost 10 degrees in
Whoa.
Cancun. Can you believe that? 10
That's
degrees
crazy.
Celsius. That is wild. Yeah. It hasn't been that cold in, I don't know, man, a long time. But yeah, point is the cold air was sticking around for a long time, so everything's frozen over, so the lakes are all frozen. Phoenix was in 80s all week. Yeah, yeah, well, not everyone's in sunny Phoenix, Dane. So, but the East Coast has been cold, and yeah, so I was there, and the lake was frozen over. And it's rare that the lake is frozen over to the point where it was like a foot thick, so you can easily just walk out and you have these beautiful views of the Toronto skyline. And awesome. Here, let me see if I can pull up my phone. Maybe I can show you guys. You can all see that. There we go. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Look at that. That's from the lake. So I was standing on top of the lake. It was beautiful. Okay. Let me just make sure I kick out all the note takers here. Yeah. Sai, you are transcribing this call. That is a no-no, so I'm gonna have to boot you. I'm sorry, because you can't be doing any transcription, okay? Sai, please say that you're going to stop transcribing the call, or else I'm gonna have to remove you. In 5 seconds. All right. See you later. Okay, cool. Well, we will kick this off. I got a deck for you, so I will share my screen. We will just jump into it. So, hello, my name is John. I mean, my actual legal name is Jonathan. So, this is all AI made, but of course, with my prompting. So, it knows me as John. My AI knows me as Jonathan. But you guys have probably all seen me on LinkedIn. So, let's just get out of this and just show you who I am. This is me on LinkedIn here. Actually, make sure you can all see my screen, right? Yeah. Okay, sweet. So this is my LinkedIn here. So I'm just moving some things around so I can see you guys all better. So this is it. So this is why you should trust me because I'm at just under 45K, which is good. Let me show you some stats here. Um, Post impressions of last 7 days, 325,000 impressions. That's great. 24,000 profile
This is
views.
the
So
webinar.
basically, this is
My camera's not on.
who is talking? Please mute. Okay, found you're going to mute you. Awesome. So yeah, I've significantly grown my profile, my following, whatever you want to call it, over the last, there we go, over the last 365. You can see here, because I've been doing lead magnets, and lead magnets is basically you put out a I don't know, a free resource that solves a pain point that somebody has, and you deliver a solution to that. And we all want that. We all basically want to do things better and faster and cheaper, so that we can get more times back in our lives, or maybe we can reduce our workforce, or maybe we can be better at our jobs, right? So we make more money, or at least keep our jobs, because AI is really taking a cut out of all of us these days. But as you can see here, I've had over 6.7 million impressions. Over 2.4 million members have been reached over the last 365 days. And basically, I started this around June, and things didn't really peak until it was a little slow off the bat because I was taking some time figuring out how to really do lead magnets, how to make them go viral. As you can see, I got one here that kind of went viral. Um, and then, kind of hit a trough. And then since then, as you can see, it's been pretty consistent. I've been really in the lately, a lot of my posts have all been doing over 100,000, like around here. I've had like 4 or 5 just in the past month that have all gone viral. And as you see, that's a little abnormal. So I've really cracked it. As you can basically see, I've really cracked the code on virality and keeping it going. And I'm gonna basically share with you how I do it. This is like the process that I do to basically go viral. And it's not just the virality is like the first part of it. The second part is like, well, then what do you do afterwards? Like you're gonna like a lot of people that are expressing intent and a problem that you're saying that you have a solution for. What do you do after? How do you handle that? How do you convert these people into customers or follow up with them or blah, blah, blah? And we'll also be talking about that too. Okay, so we'll share this again. We got some little slides here. I made this all with Gamma, as you can see. Um, yeah, so you're not getting likes, but you're getting likes, but not capturing leads. Likes don't pay bills. That's right. So there's a lot of content creators out there, and this is kind of how LinkedIn was before like lead magnets really like took over LinkedIn over the past year or so, is that everyone was just trying to get the most links and just get comments. And they were growing it through like just growing it through that method. And you can still grow your profile through that method. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow grind. So if you're committed to doing the slow grind where you're posting like 7 posts a day, and I mean 7 posts, sorry, 7 posts a week. So that's Saturday and Sunday as well, then you can do that. It's going to take you a long time though, because I've talked to creators who have been doing the old school method of growing their LinkedIn and getting leads through basically just likes and the odd comment here. And they're doing well, but it took them years to get to there. And it doesn't need to take years. I'm a success story. My customers are a success story too. You can do this much faster if you basically know how to do lead magnets well. So leads do. Attention without conversion is basically a wasted opportunity, or it's a slow grind, as I said. A lot of people don't have a system for basically capturing these. So most creators lack a process for turning the attention into a pipeline. And then there's a gap. So there's a gap between going viral and actually generating revenue, right? So here's what happens when you close that gap. Basically, everything that I just showed you, you can get a ton of followers, you get a lot of impressions, and you can make a ton of lead magnets and pull in a bunch of like, high profile and high paying clients essentially. So, and you can help them, your clients, make more money and do better and so on. So everyone's happy, right? It's a win-win. So now, here's the problem that a lot of people do with making lead magnets and why lead magnets typically don't go viral because it's an art behind this. So I'm going to talk about why it doesn't. And it happens, what I see and what I've observed is because most lead magnets fail because people build them backwards. They think about, the problem that they have and they just assume that everyone else has this problem. And then they're going to make, spend some time, I don't know, either a little bit of time or a lot of time making this resource. And then they're going to put it on LinkedIn and be like, hey guys, you have this problem. Here's a resource. Comment the thing, come and get it. And guess what? It's crickets. Like nobody cares. So you got to do it the opposite way. You don't start with making the resource. You don't start with the problem. You go out there and you figure out what is the problem? What is the problem that people are having? And so basically what most people do is they write a guide, they know something, they write a guide about something they know, like they're an SME and or whatever. They, slap the download free, wonder why nobody cares what I just said. And then what actually works is they figure out what's trending. There's different ways that you can go about figuring out what's trending, but honestly, the easiest way to do it, the lowest touch way of doing it without getting a tool or anything like that, is just your home feed. So just go into LinkedIn here, look at your home feed, and you can just basically see what is trending. You can see what is trending just by looking at other people. Like for example, this is Otto's a good friend and client, but he just made this. This is a nice little graphic here, which making a graphic like this is actually quite expensive. It's called a stop motion graphic. So I wouldn't recommend going straight to making professional graphics like this unless you're already a well-established, content creator and you have, I don't know, tens of thousands of followers. Then I would invest the time and money into doing this, but I wouldn't do that right off the bat. But let's go ahead and let's evaluate his lead magnet and see how it's doing. It's been up for 4 hours now, and it has 158 comments. That's not great. I'd say that's like below medium, so I wouldn't jump on that trend. But let's take a look at this. This one it's promoted and only has 58 comments. It's moving too fast. When it moves too fast like this, that's bad because it's most people, have like there's a lot of people that have epilepsy out there. So they're gonna look at this, they're gonna get dizzy, they're gonna get confused. Don't do that. Don't make it hard to consume. Don't do that. Make it easy to consume. The easier you make it, the more people that can actually understand it and absorb it and so on. This is made by Nano Banana. It's low quality. There's no comments. Not good. This here, you always remember 2 comments. Yeah. Ah, here we go. Okay, so here's a good example here, RIP lead gen agencies. So as we can see right off the bat, instantly has come up already twice. So we can assume that instantly is kind of trending. This is guys talking about he uses a workflow, instantly, Apollo, and Claude. Claude has been trending a lot. If I keep going through all this, here's another post right here talking about Claude. By the way, if you ever see a watermark down here, this watermark here, that means Nano Banana made it. If you get Nano Banana Pro, it removes the watermark automatically, but just a little pro tip there. So this guy, Jesse, he's a big creator. This this is doing all right. It's been up for 5 hours, 600 comments. That's actually pretty good. So this is something that requires a bit more, it's you can look into it and you can be like, okay, well, he's doing it pretty well. So let's see what he's doing well about it, right? Let's see what he's talking about. He's talking about Claude, he's talking about LinkedIn. My guess it's about lead generation by using Claude in LinkedIn, blah blah blah. It is about that, by the way. This one's about Taplio and LinkedIn. Because it has Taplio at the very front and because there's a link here, that means it's sponsored. So she's getting paid by doing this with Taplio. And as you can see, it only did 243 comments, so it's not doing so well. So you wouldn't copy that. So we've just done a pretty decent. All right, we're muting you. All right, here's Jed. I know Jed. This is also not a good post here. Sorry, Jed, if you're on here, but it's just the way it is. Claude Opus is trending right now. So, yeah, doing something about Claude Opus is good. Doing something about Instantly is good. Doing something about growing on LinkedIn is good. So, there we go. Just by doing a quick little scan here, we figured out that Claude Opus is trending. People are talking about Instantly, and people are interested in lead generation. Here's something about Claude Cowork setup. Yeah, Claude Cowork has been trending well over the last few weeks now for a while, and it's at 418 comments. So that's pretty good. 17 repos. That's pretty good too. So there we go. So that's the quick and dirty and easiest way to figure this out. Another hack that I'll tell you guys is Perplexity. So this is the Comet web browser, which is by Perplexity. They got this thing called Deep Research here. You can basically just ask it like, what in the AI world uh, regarding tools has been trending over the past 7 days. I'm not going to do it because I've ran out of my deep research credits because I used it a lot because it's really good. And it will just basically go and make a really detailed report and it will search across everything and basically figure out like what is trending, what is not trending. That's also a good way of figuring out what's trending and not trending. All right, let's get back to the deck. So then once you validated the angle, that's when you can go and you can basically start writing the resource. Now, you're going to see a lot of posts out there, a lot of lead magnets on LinkedIn, and they're going to look all the same. There's a reason because of that, because people take each other's ideas and some people literally just copy and paste other posts and that's just kind of how it is. And if you get big, maybe some of you are already making lead magnets on LinkedIn. Maybe this has happened to you, or maybe you're already doing this, but that's just kind of that kind of game. If you put something out on LinkedIn, expect it to be taken and stolen. That's just how it is. Because when you publish it out there on the Ethernet, it's not your property. It becomes LinkedIn property, and LinkedIn basically states that anybody can basically take it. So because the actual owner of this is LinkedIn at the end of the day. So I wish I could give you some examples. I didn't see any in my feed, but I created, not to toot my own horn here, but let me show you an example of this. Some of you will probably be like, oh yeah, I've seen this a lot. I created this lead magnet 6 days ago, and here's a picture that I made here, Cloud Opus 4.6. I made this picture, and since I made this, I've seen maybe 10 lead magnets with this exact picture. And they all just and that's I respect it because they went and they saw 6,000 comments, hundreds of thousands of views. Why wouldn't you copy it, right? Why wouldn't you? So they basically went and took my idea. Cool. Good for them. And they've been doing pretty well. So yeah, you've probably seen it. So, and that's just fine. That's just how it goes. So yeah, once you validate the angle, then you write the post. So you write the post first, then you build the guide. So the post comes before the actual product. The product is the documents, the playbook, the blueprint, the whatever it is. That's pretty much going to solve their problem. I got some formatting errors here. So this is the 6-step viral lead magnet process system that I use to create lead magnets. Now, of course, you can do whatever system you want, but I'm literally telling you exactly how I do it. So first step is the source. You find the topic or trending research, which is what we did. The second part is you generate an outline of the guide. So basically you ask it to, put it in structure into parts. And of course, like you're not writing this by hand. Absolutely not. You're using AI, you're using ChatGPT, you're using Gemini, you're using Claude. I find from my experience, the best writer is Gemini. It used to be Claude, but lately it's been Gemini. Gemini's just been blowing it out of the water with respect to writing. Claude is fantastic at a lot of other things. It's not that great at writing anymore. Used to be, but hey, that's just how it goes with AI. It changes, right? Oh, I missed a step here. Sorry, the formatting here this is bothering me. Let me just fix it. There we go. This is my, yeah, so we can all read this together better. Look at that. That is much better. Okay. I made this just before we jumped on this. Okay, so the first step is the source. The second part is the hook. The hook is extremely, extremely important. If the hook doesn't captivate the reader's attention, then why are they going to stop scrolling? Then why are they going to stop scrolling and give you attention versus keep scrolling and find something else? Right? So the hook has to be, I call it punchy, but it has to be attractive. It has to, I don't know, basically make the reader think about something that they haven't thought about, or maybe it's about a problem that they didn't even know that they had, so on and so forth. But it has to be punchy. It has to be scroll stopping hook. You got to put yourself in the reader's shoes, in your audience shoes, and ask like, would I stop and would I read this? And if you would, then great, you got something. The next part is after you've done that, then you create the outline for the actual document. So we have the idea, we have the hook. And so think about the tree. We're at the top of the tree. Now we're making our way down. So the content is expanding, expanding, expanding. So now the outline is like, okay, like what's going to be in the meat of this document? So, like we got to know what the title is, the part, the word count, etc. Once we know all of this, then AI can comfortably make basically in one shot this document. Then we basically tell it to generate the document, and we tell it to generate it with it depends on which AI you're using. With Gemini, Gemini doesn't like to write that much, so you have to basically prompt it for depth. You got to say write more than you think you would write because it's going to come up with the word counts, it's going to come up with the estimates, and then it's going to write something that's far below the estimated word count. So you got to basically tell it to write more. And then it's going to produce the full lead magnet document. And then you're gonna basically want to write a an actual post from this, and that's the last part you do is writing the post. I mean, you could write the post with the hook. Sometimes I do that, but honestly, it's basically these 6 steps is how it works. So, as I said, the hook is everything. If the hook fails, nobody sees the guide, nobody cares. It's just gonna fail. Like that's it. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting everyone else's time. So you got to really make a punchy hook. Here's some examples of punchy hooks, at least my punchy hooks. Like drop what you're doing, Opus 4.6 is out. It puts Claude to shame. Why is this punchy? Because Opus 4.6 came out, which is Claude. It's like, all right, new model, new flashy thing. And apparently it's better than a thing that everyone has been talking about. So we're jumping on 2 different trends here. If you can jump on 2 or more trends and make a contradictory statement like this, you got something really good. That's a really powerful hook. Everyone's going to stop what they're doing and read that, right? Another good one is Claude just launched co-work plugins. I stress tested all 14 first-party integrations, so you don't have to. Like basically saying it's like something new came out. I've tested it. I've done all the work, so you don't have to do. Here's my findings and blah 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 blah. People are gonna be like, oh shit, this guy actually. Sorry for that. This guy actually put in the effort to find a bunch of things for whatever it is. I'm gonna keep reading and see what he's found because maybe it's going to help solve a problem that I have, right? So the formula that works is you lead with a number or a bold claim. Numbers are always better if you can. Reference something that people already care about. Create urgency of why they should, basically continue reading. Promise a specific tangible takeaway. If you don't know, like, or at least you don't have an idea of what you're going to get after reading the first hook, then you have a bad hook. So like for example here, like for Opus 4.6, I they're making the claim that 4.6 is better than Claudebot. So you already know right away that okay, this guy has a claim that for Opus 4.6 is better than Claudebot. Now I know what I'm going to get from the rest of this. This guy actually is onto something or is onto nothing, but I want to find out because everyone's saying that Claudebot is really good. So let's see why Opus 4.6 is better. Or let's see what's going on there, right? So you already know just from the hook, just from that one sentence, what you're getting. So that's why you're going to keep reading. Same thing with this, with Claude just launched the co-work plugins. It's like, okay, it's plugins and it's 14 first-party integrations. So I already know what to expect. I'm getting like I'm going to getting stuff about co-work, plugins, and these integrations. So now I know what to expect when I keep reading. So that's the promise. The promise needs to be clear. Structure separate PDFs from lead magnets people share. The complete cloud cowork, what is set up? Yeah. Every section should be in. Yeah, okay. So basically, when you're structuring the document, it's good to structure it this way here. Like when you're structuring the actual lead magnet document, always start with a lot of these documents, they're talking about tools, specifically an AI tool. We can all resonate with AI tools, right? And we can all use them because we can all download to our computer. So you always want to kind of talk about, especially if you're referencing a tool that not everybody uses. Like for example, everybody uses ChatGPT. So whoever's talking, can you please put yourself on mute?
Okay. Okay.
All right, I found him and we muted him. All right, thanks, guys. Just a reminder, just keep yourself on mute. And if you have a question, you can raise your hand and, I can answer your question. But I ask that unless the question is a burning question, keep the questions to the end. But if it's a burning question, you can raise your hand and I'll call on you. Okay. But yeah, this is the structure that I like to use when I generate a document. And I've seen other great lead magnet documents also structured this way. Poor ones are not structured this way. I mean, they're not really providing any value. And if you're not providing any value, then why are people going to keep following you? Because you've already proved to them that you can't really deliver value with whatever your guide is, whatever your document is. So why as a reader, why should I keep giving you my attention, right? Because although attention, you may think that like I'm giving this thing for free, so therefore everyone should care. No, they should not care because everyone's attention is valuable. Dane's attention is valued, Dale's attention is valued, Chris' attention is valued, Josh, Hans, Scott, everyone. All of your attention is valued. So you need to fight for people's attention. That's it. And if you're giving away crap resources, then, like Chris shouldn't care about what Josh is putting out. I see Chris nodding. Chris shouldn't care. Why should Chris keep following Josh, right? And you know what's going to happen to Josh? Josh, maybe you've had that one viral thing. Well, guess what? His future lead magnets are not going to go viral because Chris is not going to follow moving forward. Yeah. Sorry for being on your man, but you guys get the point. So you got to actually put some effort into structuring the document. Like, yeah, of course, get AI to write it, of course, but you need to actually explain things. Like if you're referencing a new tool like Cloud Cowork, a lot of people, we've heard about it, but we may not know what it is. We may not even know how to set it up. We may not we may not know the workflows, the advanced use cases, etc. Like I've seen a lot of lead magnets where it's just the workflows. It's nothing else. It's nothing about explaining what it is, the setup, the use cases, the troubleshooting. It's just the workflows. Like, here's the workflows. Go figure it out, loser. Good luck. So actually, like, put some effort into it. It's not hard to get this information. It really isn't. Try not to hallucinate when you make this stuff, guys. Like you can basically, I can say, hey, Gemini, go like guess what Claude Cowork is. And it will go and it will guess, and without the content, it will without the context, like actual seeing the guides from Claude Cowork, it will just go and it will just hallucinate a bunch of stuff. So you can do that, but you're going to deliver, crap content that's not accurate. And it's honestly pretty easy to go and get accurate information. You can tell Claude to go to Claude Cowork's website and research it and then come up with, a document that explains what it is and how to set it up and whatever. Like it takes like 2 seconds to basically it's like a one-line prompt and it can go and do that. Perplexity is really good at finding documents, so it will go and find it too. Um, so so yeah, just actually, if you're actually doing this stuff and you want to consistently go viral, put a few minutes, extra minutes into actually making the document good. And this is the structure that I recommend. Cool. Write plus prompt. What is this about? The guide writes itself when the outline is right. Yeah, exactly. So once I've basically figured out the outline, and the outline is step three. So once AI has written the outline, then you can tell AI to basically one-shot prompt, write the entire thing. Because from that outline, which is going to be like 1 or 2 pages long, AI basically knows what it needs to write. And so it will go in there and it will write a quality document here, right? So these are some writing standards here: professional but practical, bold key terms. Yeah. Include a lot of copy and paste templates and step-by-step instructions. Every section answers like, why do I do this right now? Of course, like this is pretty standard stuff. Promotion strategy here. Yeah, and then once you're done writing the document, then you want to write basically the actual lead magnet post to get people in. So you're going to want to tell AI to basically come up with 3 different variations of the post with different hooks, different CTAs, and then you as the human, you can decide which one is best. Right? AI will recommend some. Sometimes AI's gotten really good. Sometimes AI will be like, "Hey, I recommend that you go with of the 3 options. I recommend you go with option two. Here's why." And you're like, "Yeah, it's actually you're onto something, man. You're getting really good, Gemini." Sometimes it's just way off, and it's no, it's like this that clearly won't do well. So you got to use your judgment on top of AI, right? Lead magnets that went viral. Basically, this is just all of my recent lead magnets that have gone viral. So just to show you that there's, credibility here. This one from a week ago, 7,000. So yeah, my lead magnets, this proven formula that I'm showing you is it works. Um, all of my recent ones have gone, except this one here. This one did not do well at all, 195. But hey, I mean, that's fair. All of them can't go viral, right? That's just impossible. But basically all of mine follow this 6-step process, and that's how they've all done well. So yeah, let's actually create one together. So there's different ways of doing it. I mentioned that I like Gemini a lot, so I there's different ways that you can use Gemini. You can go into let's go into this. So you can go into your favorite chat out there. Like for example, you can go to gemini.google.com. I recommend not doing gemini.google.com. Because of this, it has limits unless you have like how do I say this? Unless you have like the pro version of Gemini, you're going to want to use Pro, and you can only use Pro like 3 or 4 times a day, and then you're basically maxed out. Versus on here with the AI Studio, your free limits are significantly higher, so you can use a lot more. And it has a nice scroll. Honestly, the main reason why I use this is scrolling UI here. See how I can scroll through the conversation. It's really cool. I really like that, so I can go through past conversations really fast. So yeah, you're gonna want to basically let's do one together. So you go to home here. I guess you go to playground. Yeah, so there you go. So you set the model here. There's all the different models here, right? You're gonna want to train it on a voice. I have a document that I train on my voice, and you're all going to get a link to this. So let me just go ahead and find it. 1 second. It's called the Ghostwriter. So you're all going to get the Ghostwriter, or you may already have it. A lot of you, I see a lot of familiar faces here, so could already have it. So basically, you want to feed it in on training something, like your voice. You can even feed it on your knowledge base as well. Here we go. So here. So then you're going to say something like, read this document to understand my writing style. That's really important. So then it's going to see it pulls in the documents. It's reading it right now. Awesome. Because it's Gemini 3 Pro, it takes the longest time to do it. It's not like the fast model, so it doesn't move super fast, but that's fine. We want the Pro version because we want to come up with some quality stuff here. Cool. So then it's giving us its analysis. Now you're going to want to basically tell it about like, let's give it some stuff about what's trending. I already have a file here that's about what's been trending. So analyze what's trending in AI by reading the attached. So now it's going to do that, right? So we fed in the voice. Now we're feeding in what's trending. You don't have to do this. You could just like, jump straight to it. So then the next step after that is you're going to basically talk about, well, I can do it right now. Turn on Whisper Flow. So you tell it who you are. So, hey, my name is John. I am a LinkedIn creator. I make lead magnets about AI and resources and whatever. Based on everything that you just read in this document about what's trending, come up with 3 ideas for lead magnets that you think would go viral. So there we go. Much faster than I just used Whisper Flow, by the way. And as you can see, Whisper Flow is awesome. So if you don't have Whisper Flow, get it. So cool thing is we can see its thought process. Here we go. Let's come up with the 3 ideas here. The cool thing, what I like about Gemini is how it structures the data. So it even knows right away that, there needs to be a hook. So it structures by hook. There needs to be an asset, which is the resource. And then there needs to be like why it works. So this is a standard method for how Gemini structures it, which is it's just the best that I've seen. So yeah, it's idea number one is the Model Council. Model Council is Perplexity, just came out with its new feature. It honestly hasn't been trending that much on LinkedIn, so this could be an opportunity because it is trending other places. Like for example, it's trending on X, Twitter, it's trending on Reddit, but it's not trending on LinkedIn. So it's not trending on LinkedIn because one of 2 reasons: people don't care about it, or because it just people haven't talked about on LinkedIn yet. So this is an opportunity for you to basically start a new trend if you wanted. So we could do that, right? It would do the angle here. Most people can't afford the enterprise plan, but they fear hallucination. You give them the poor man's version. Yeah, so stop trusting GPT-5 blindly. The pros use the model council. Here's a template I run for myself. Cool. A simple Notion dashboard where the asset is a simple Notion dashboard where users input a prompt. They have a template. Yeah, okay. So the model council, what it does is it uses 3 different AIs at the same time to basically answer your question, which is really cool. I haven't seen an LLM do that before. And then it takes a synthesis of each of the AIs and yeah. So it's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, this would make a good lead magnet. The other idea here is the report notes that Claude in PowerPoint. Yeah, Claude in PowerPoint has been trending lately. I've been seeing that a lot. Research preview is insanely good. I've actually tested it myself. It's not very good. It kind of sucks. Full disclosure, it's not that good. Yeah, it's not good at all, to be honest. It's really bad. You're better off just using Gamma. Gamma's a lot better. You're better off honestly just using Claude to write the structure or Gemini to write the structure of the slides. Feed that into Gamma. Gamma makes the slides. They look a lot better because Claude is in PowerPoint, but the slides don't look good. It just looks bad. But if you wanted to go down that angle, here's the hook. It comes with the hook with you. I just fired my agency. Yeah, a lot of people talk about the firing aspect. Claude Opus 4.6 now builds my decks inside PowerPoint. Here's the workflow. Yeah, see? And then this is what it would be. You can make a 5-minute loom, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, makes sense. Or we could do the agent swarm. This is about VS codes. The report details a multi-agent explosion and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so now it's basically saying, what do you want to do next? Pick one and we'll move on to phase 2, the hook lab. It already knows my process, guys. So we're gonna go with idea one. Do idea one create a structure of the document for me. I usually give it more prompts, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. So let's see if it actually comes up with a structure of the document that's well. So we'll see. Okay, John, to make this lead magnet go viral, I cannot just be a link of links to be a system. We are building the do-it-yourself model council, a 3 model consensus protocol. That's awesome. Gemini is so good at writing. It comes up with phrases I would never think of in a million years, and this is awesome. But also, you got to know that I did train it on the Ghostwriter, and the Ghostwriter basically tells it to write kind of edgy that way. So it still writes pretty well without the Ghostwriter, but it writes so much better with the Ghostwriter. So make sure you get that, which I'll share the link. So let's see what it comes up with. Um, the philosophy behind this. It basically talks about the problem. That's good. So you should always start with the background and context. The problem is relying on a single model creates a silo of hallucination. True, if it doesn't have context, that is true. The council approach, we treat AI not as a god, but as a committee. That's cool. I like that. Citing the February 2026 ecosystem, Perplexity just automates this entire thing. Okay. The council members, the workflow. Okay. The conflict resolution protocol. I mean, yeah. So this is the part where I would have some back and forth with it. I would say I would come up with basically ideas. I would say like, okay, this is good, but can you come up with workflows for how this would benefit people in like, I don't know, sales, marketing, product, operations, finance, strategy, etc. So this is how we do the back and forth. Now, what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to get some information on, what this is and how to set it up. So the majority of you here don't know what the model protocol is or what is it called again? The model council. What the model council is. So you're going to want to get some research on that. So you're going to want to go into Perplexity is really good at research. So you use the best, use the AI that's the best at whatever the use case is. In this moment of time, my use case is I need research. So I'm going to use Perplexity. So I'm going to say find uh, research the internet and find all information on the model council, Perplexity's latest model. Tell me what it is, how to set it up, and how it differentiates from other AIs out there. There we go. Cool. So as you can see here, this is sort of right. Actually, yeah, this is right. Yeah, if you get Perplexity Max at $200, which kind of sucks to be honest, but yeah, so see, I just got as you can see, it just took me 2 seconds to get accurate information on the setup process. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to feed it back into this. So here it basically has come up with the process here, the marketing trend, yeah, the problem. Yeah, this all makes sense. The strategy. Yeah, so here we go. It came into the different steps here. So I'm going to say all of this is good, but below is a report on what the model council actually is and how to set it up. Please modify. Why am I saying please? It's just a machine. This is like the Canadian in me coming out. I say please a lot. That's what we're known for. Same with the Brits. You guys say please a lot too. We're both known for that. Yeah, I see Josh nodding his head. Yeah. Please modify the structure to incorporate below findings. Right. So now we pop it in. And voila, now it's going to go. So after this, we've done a bunch of back and forth now. It's going to be good. Like this structure is going to be a damn good structure after this. You can expect after doing at least 3 back and forths. Here we go. Here's the document title, the Model Council Protocol version 2.0, how to replicate Perplexity's $200 per month enterprise Mac workflow manually. The executive summary, the context, Perplexity launched this, an orchestration between this, the barrier, it costs too much. Yeah. But hey, it could be really good. The guide teaches you, yep. Okay. Yep. Now we've got to ask it, how many words will be in each part and in total? Because if we don't know the word count, then AI won't know the word count either. So, and that's actually one of my steps here, guys, is to get the word count because that's a key step. So now we're on step 4, expand. Okay, so now it's come up with the total estimated word counts. 1,800 to 2,000 words. Okay. If this is good, okay. This is good. Can you write the entire document, but instead of it being 2,000 words, can you aim for it being 2,500 words so that it's more comprehensive and focus more on giving a lot of value and a lot of explanation on the workflows and on the background and context on what the model context is and how to make it work. There we go. So now it's going to write in one shot the entire document. But as you can see, I did a lot of pre-prompting, I've been doing it now for 10 minutes on this document. So as you can see here, within like 7 steps, it's like 7 or 8 steps until we actually get to writing the document. So here we go. So now it's going to basically write our lead magnet. Cool. Now what's the next step after the lead magnet? Well, we got to write that post. So we're going to do after that, but we're going to wait until it basically writes the lead magnet. Now we can say like writes the post, make sure the hook is punchy so that it stops a reader from scrolling and makes them want to read past the first line. And there is a CTA to comments to get the guide. It's a guide. And that's pretty much it. The next step after this is you would basically take this entire thing. So we copy it out. We're going to put it into a character counter to basically see. Yeah, it did 2,275 words. So that's pretty good. So it did in between the estimate. It was estimated to be between 2,000 and 2,500 words. If we want, we can do a quick it's advisable that, you're not just putting out crap, you actually read through this and make sure it's actually good. And you can also edit it if you want. For the sake of time, I'm not doing that because you guys are all watching me do my thing here. So, but yeah, we're gonna take a look and see what Perplexity just put a $200 price tag on Truth. They call it the Model Council. Yeah, it's not, guys, would you stop and read more if you saw this hook? Probably not, right? Like I wouldn't either. So this hook isn't good. I actually have a prompt for making this hook better. And let me grab that prompt here. And I do this prompt all the time and it works really well. So we're just gonna pop in this prompt. Basically, here's examples of really good hooks. Use these really good hooks and redo the hook to make it never really makes a good hook on the first try. Maybe 1 out of 10 times it does. Here we go. Velocity charges 2,400 a year for Model Council, but I built the exact same workflow for $0. That's not good. Why is it focusing on money? It's focusing on the $200 feature. The era of this smart model chat is over. If you're still relying on ChatGPT for high stakes decisions, you're operating with a blindfold. This is pretty good. So I'd go with this one here. The era of the smart single model chat is over. So there you go. So now I would go with it's saying us to go with option one. No, let's do option three and rewrite the post with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The next step, you're going to want to basically package this resource up and, put it into a way that people can actually consume it, right? So you can put this into a Google Docs if you want, which is what a lot of people do, or you can put it into a Notion drive. I do Notion because it looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. And then you're going to want to think about how this comes into your funnel, right? Because you're going to be basically a lot of people are going to be commenting on this. They're going to want the thing. Cool. And so then what happens afterwards, right? So you got to think about your funnel. So it's an example of my funnel. Anytime anyone comments on any of my stuff, I mean any of them, it all funnels into this beautiful thing here called LeadPanther. And as you can see, over the past 30 days, LeadPanther has captured over 19,268 comments. Yeah. And of those comments, the majority of them are actual lead magnet comments, like people who want it, which is high intent. Josh, I see your hands up.
Did you build that with Claude Code? Lead Panther. Is that your thing?
Yeah. Yes and
That's fucking
yes.
awesome.
Yeah. Answer is yes and yes. And it has grown my account by 6,600 connection exceptions. And by the way, I've hit the max. I'm at 30,000 now. So as you can see over the past 7 days, it's zero because I've hit the limit. So, and it's
Is your
replied to, yeah.
sorry, dude. Is your back end in N8N by any chance?
We use a bunch of things, but yeah, I originally built this on N8N, so we're still using it because it works. It works pretty well. Like the workflows, we go to automations here. So it's workflows that run, it scans the comments and it basically figures out of these comments like which one of them are lead magnets or not. So you go here to the comments. So you can see here, like these are the actual comments down here. This one here, as you can see by this guy, I can't pronounce his name. He's just making a comment about something. I've definitely it's just an opinion, and the AI correctly, labeled it as not a lead magnet, which is good. So that means he's basically not a lead. But of the ones that are leads, they all pretty much, they get categorized as such as a correct lead. So here's the hot leads that come in here. By the way, the entire process that I just showed you of how I do this in here, I've replicated it into a thing that I call my Ghostwriter. And it's basically, it uses Gemini under the hood and it is trained on the exact 6 steps that I basically just showed you how to do. So it helps you choose the strategy. It even knows like what is trending. And it knows what is trending because I feed it that report, that same report that I fed into here. And so it's going to basically come up with that. So this is also free. This is a free tool. And I've given this away as a free tool for you guys because I want you guys to basically start, using my thing and dipping your toes into making lead magnets because I mean, it's hard to do this. If you haven't done this for the first time, then yeah, it's hard. Let's see what it's come up with. This is the pulse report from February 11th. Yeah. The Moltbook effect. Yeah, the social network called the Moltbook went viral. Yes, it has. Talking about the robot sounding content. Yes, it has. The death of the cookie, the manual data. Oh, I didn't know about that. That's actually interesting. The 10-second expansion. Yeah. Do any of these trends spark an idea? It tells you like what one I would go with. So yeah, you could basically just go through the steps of like quite literally just follow the steps and it makes the lead magnets. Anyways, guys, we're coming up to the end of the hour. Thanks for attending. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking time to come of your day and give me your attention. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, and then see it comes up with the 3 different ideas here. And then you basically just choose one. You even see how it comes up with like the name. It comes up with kind of like a hook idea here, who your target audience would be, the value prop of what they get. Gives you like the outline, which is awesome. And then basically just select it and then yeah, it just continues through the step of doing it. Do this one. But yeah, just for fun. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, come off mic or raise your hand or you know, go from there. Grant, I saw you put your hand up
Yeah,
first.
do you have any experience in building these for other types of industries? I'm curious as to how you would build a lead magnet for something that isn't what you built it for.
Well, it depends on the industry, but what I recommend doing, what I've done, what I've seen success in, and what I've done personally with my clients is you can figure out a way to basically bring in one of these tools into like a workflow that you do with your industry. For example, coaches, there's maybe some coaches here on this call, and coaches, especially like I don't know, coaches that are mentors and they like to help executive coaches. So how would like an executive coach that helps C-suite, like how would they make a lead magnet? How would they make a lead magnet that piggybacks off of, I don't know, Claude or ChatGPT or whatever? Well, these people are probably subject matter experts in their area. They probably have a wealth of knowledge, and that knowledge is probably here in their head, and it probably exists in documents here. So what they could do is they could basically train the AI on everything that they know. And so then when Claude comes out with a new model, they could say, I've trained Claude Opus 4.6 on all the best practices on all like on how I've helped, I don't know, X, Y, and Z executives go from like 1 million a year to 10 million a year ARR. Like There you go. There is a lead magnet right now that's about their subject matter expert, their industry, and piggybacks off of a trend. You always want to go off of a trend, especially an AI trend, because then you're capturing a wide audience. You always want to capture a big audience because if you're going in for a small, nimble audience, nobody's going to care. Whereas if you're going for a big audience, you're going to get the people that care, and then you're going to get the people that don't care. So you're just going to get a bit of everyone. And it's super easy to filter out the people that aren't your ICP. It's really easy. All you do is you basically, when you send them the lead magnet, like for example, you want to send them the guide, you're going to basically, and a lot of you guys have gotten this from me, by the way. So you're going to want to give them the thing, and then you're going to want to basically put them in your funnel. Like, hey, by the way, like I offer this thing. If you're interested in my executive coaching services, if you felt this pain, I'm willing to do a free one-on-one consultation with you, something like that. And that converts because the people who aren't qualified that don't resonate with whatever it is, they're just going to ignore it. And the people that do resonate with it, well, they already see that you've brought them value into their lives. And so they're going to be like, all right, this guy's giving me value. Therefore, I bite. I'm going to give more of my time to this person and see, maybe jump on a call with them and see what they have to offer. That works really well. Okay, Josh.
Hey dude, me again. How do we
Yeah.
access Lead Panther?
Go to leadpanther.com or
Is it
leadpanther.ai.
free? You said it's free as well. Is it
Yeah.
free to
Yeah,
use?
it's free to use the
Nice.
Ghostwriter. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. How long did it
Um,
take you to build?
a few weeks. I already had a lot of it built in a different app that was
Hmm.
not great. And then, I learned Claude Code and I basically redid it into this. So, and now it's a beautiful app that actually works really well. Even have all my messaging in here as well, which is awesome. Actually, I don't want to show too much of that because you guys shouldn't see my private messaging. And the people who I'm having a conversation with, they probably wouldn't be happy if you guys all saw it too. So yeah.
I'm just getting into Claude Code. Would you recommend N8N as the backend? I use N8N regularly. Would you recommend that's a good route?
I mean, it depends on what you're doing for your backend. For example, N8N it's an automation platform, right? It's a no-code visual automation platform. So if you already have workflows in N8N, then yeah, keep it because like redoing those workflows in N8N, like that just takes time, and like that's a lot of work. Whereas if you're doing things from scratch for the first time, then you can use Supabase. Supabase is really good at it has like the things called edge functions, and you can make automations within edge functions. And you can tell Claude to, this is the problem that I have, this is what I need you to do, blah blah blah, make it. But if you have super complex workflows that look like this, and it's going to take forever to recreate them, like see how complex this workflow is,
Mm,
then I wouldn't recommend redoing it. That's why like I haven't done it. If you look at my N8N here, I'll just give you a snippet of my N8N. I have automations running all the time. Look, just in the last, what is this, 7 days or whatever, 12,000 executions.
wow.
This thing is just running, and I have like hundreds of workflows because I started with N8N, so it's
Yeah.
yeah, it works, but it's a little buggy. I mean, not buggy. It takes time to modify the workflows. You can get Claude Code to read N8N, but
Mm.
Claude Code's not good at modifying N8N. But Claude Code is really good at modifying Supabase edge functions. Like really good at that. So, but yeah, dude, if you're interested in this stuff, join my school, man. Like that's
Send
where
me a
that's what
link.
you should do.
Yeah.
Well, it's here. This is it. So
Cool.
you just I don't know, Google Agent J. I think if you Google Agent J, it should come up. Check.
If
Just
you're,
curious.
so if I've
Agent
used
J school.
N8N to do relatively complex
There we
automations,
go.
would I pick up Superbase really easy?
Yeah, because honestly, Claude Code just does everything for you, to be honest. Yeah,
Awesome.
you
That's
just
what I
need to
want to
know how
hear.
to prompt Claude Code. So like that's really it. Really as simple as that. But
Thanks a
yeah,
lot.
I do come up. That's yeah, no worries. Well, bunch of you here. A bunch of you did show up. That's awesome. Well, I just want to say thanks for showing up. You're gonna get a recording of this. You're also going to get um this. this beautiful document here, the Gemini 3 Ghostwriter Killer. This was a lead magnet that I did, which I personally use myself all the time when I write. It's a great writer, absolutely great writing tool. So you'll get this as well. And if you want, you can sign up for LeadPanther and you can use the Ghostwriter for free and you can start experimenting with it and basically start creating lead magnets through this. And if you want to do it yourself, great, do it yourself. If you just want to follow a wizard that's trained on me and tells you exactly how to do it, then do that, right? I give you the choice. So yeah, thanks for showing up, guys, and expect an email from me with these links. Cool.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
thanks
you, John.
everybody.
Nice one.
Have a great Thursday. Ciao.
Thanks.